Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Stupendous Wave, and in this video we will be talking about a viewer suggested video, which I really do appreciate this suggestion. It's a really great one, and the person that suggested it, his name is AssassinJ3334. So thank you so much, dude, for this awesome suggested video. And with that being said, this video will be about, will Godzilla or Godzillasaurus, an extension, possibly appear in Kong Skull Island, and what I think all about that. So to preface my remarks on what I actually think, I would like to fill everyone in who might not know on what a Godzillasaurus is. A Godzillasaurus was the name of the dinosaur in a movie from the Heisei series called Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. And in that movie, they kind of explained the origins of Godzilla as he was this dinosaur called the Godzillasaurus. Yes, it's a little bit cheesy, but it's still awesome. It's Godzilla. And it was mutated, the Godzillasaurus was mutated into Godzilla, into the Heisei era, or that film's Godzilla. So that's just kind of the origins of Godzillasaurus. So basically this person is asking me, do you think that we could see a Godzillasaurus, or that breed of dinosaur, that type of dinosaur, on Skull Island and possibly appear in Kong Skull Island, and maybe even see Kong face off against a Godzillasaurus and what that might mean? And I've kind of taken this as an extension. I'm going to talk about the Godzillasaurus appearing in this video itself, and I'd also like to talk about Godzilla appearing, and those are two very different things. Like I said, Godzilla is far different from a Godzillasaurus at this point. He's a force of nature, and that's kind of how 2014 has described him as, and kind of what they're going with, or at least I think that what they're going with. They're not going with Godzilla the animal. Of course he is an animal, but they're more going with Godzilla the force of nature, Godzilla the unstoppable, really, like I said, force of nature, something that can't be stopped, something that can't be captured and held down. And I think that's the version of Godzilla that they're going with in the new series, and honestly, my personal opinion, that's the best type of Godzilla, the Godzilla that can't be stopped by anything that's human related. The people really have to just sit and watch this amazing creature battle it out with other kaiju. So I'd like to say, like I said, they're two very different things, the Godzillasaurus and Godzilla. Very different things. So, what are my thoughts on the Godzillasaurus appearing in Kong Skull Island? And also, I'd like to remind everyone that Kong Skull Island does, as far as we know, take place in the 70s. So, it's taking place before the events of Godzilla 2014. So, short answer for Godzillasaurus showing up in Kong Skull Island. If I had to bet money on it, I would say no. I don't think that Godzillasaurus is going to show up in Kong Skull Island. It's really the people that know about Godzillasaurus aren't really, they're more hardcore Godzilla fans, and they're people that know a lot about Godzilla's history. Like I said, the Godzillasaurus origin is really only shown in one movie. Like I said, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. So it's really only in one movie. But it would still be cool to see a Godzillasaurus in Kong Skull Island. Again, we don't really know how big King Kong is going to be in this movie. We don't know if he's going to go under some type of transformation where he grows larger and he's able to combat Godzilla in present day, what I assume, in the year 2020. Like I said, this movie takes place in the 70s, so Kong has some time to grow. We might not actually see a full-grown Kong in Kong Skull Island, or we might end up seeing the full-grown King Kong, which is comparable to Godzilla size. Not quite Godzilla size, but able to, of course, attack him and contend with him, because it wouldn't be much of a Godzilla vs. Kong movie in 2020 if King Kong is still 25 feet tall. I mean, come on. So that's kind of what I think about King Kong. I think that his size might actually be smaller, to the point where he might be able to contend with something like Godzillasaurus, because obviously Godzillasaurus, if it appeared, would not be the size that Godzilla is. It wouldn't be hundreds of feet tall. But what I think is, I think we'll definitely end up seeing a younger version of Kong, but still a very, very large Kong. Like I said, not Godzilla sized, but very close to it. So I would say the likelihood of Godzillasaurus not appearing in this movie would be unlikely, but I wouldn't be against it for this origin of Godzilla. But personally, kind of what I'd like to keep Godzilla in my mind is him being the force of nature. That's the origin that I personally prefer for Godzilla, especially with this new franchise. But will Godzilla himself appear in Kong Skull Island? I think it would be definitely cool. But we already have the the Monarch that is connecting these two movies together. Monarch is the corporation that will be the strings between these two movies, because, of course, we know that Monarch is heavily featured in Godzilla 2014. And we might even get to see the origins of Monarch in Kong Skull Island, which would definitely be cool. And like I stated in other videos, I think we have the potential to see other Godzilla kaiju in this series, like Kamacuras, Kumonga, possibly even Gorosaurus, which I would be very excited about. But as far as Godzilla himself, I'm not sure. It's really up in the air. I think that if he does appear, King Kong and him may not be in the same area, and they definitely won't fight each other. That's what I think. I think that they're definitely going to save the big fight for Godzilla vs. Kong, obviously. But I think that the possibility of him appearing could happen. I don't think it's going to be for a very lengthy period of time at all. I think that he'll just appear for a very, very brief time if he appears at all. But we have to remember that this is King Kong's movie. This isn't Godzilla's movie. We're all Godzilla fans, obviously, but this is King Kong's movie. And I don't think that they're going to want to sell Godzilla vs. Kong in this movie. Obviously, they didn't want to sell Kong in the Godzilla movie. We just got a movie solely about Godzilla and the Mutos, the opponent which he was facing. And I think in this movie, it's going to be similar to that. It's going to be Kong's story, and then in Godzilla 2, I think is where they'll start to really, really sew the threads of Godzilla vs. Kong coming on the horizon. I think that the likelihood of King Kong appearing in Godzilla 2 in 2018 is far more likely than seeing Godzilla appear in Kong Skull Island in 2017. But anything's possible. Like I said, this is just my opinion. I am so excited that we are getting not only a Kong Skull Island movie in 2017, I am so very ecstatic that in 2020 we get to see these two kaiju face off on screen, and I can't believe I'm alive during this time, and it's not 2020 yet, so no telling if I'll be alive then. Hopefully I will and be able to experience it, but I'm just very happy that I live in a time where I get to see these dream kaiju go up against each other, and I just wanted to say that at the end of this video. Anyway guys, thank you guys as always so much for watching and commenting. If you guys have a suggested video about Kong Skull Island or Godzilla vs. Kong, please leave it in the comments down below. I do read all the comments on all of my videos, and again, I'd like to thank you guys for that and for watching my videos. Anyway guys, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and have a great day.